I'm Elisa and I am the Scrappy Wife behind scrappywife.com, and today I want to show you a few highlights from last weekend when I got to go to the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo over in Chantilly, Virginia. I had a great time. I went with a good friend of mine who also loves crafting and picked up a few tips along the way. So I thought I'd take you on a quick tour of the show floor and some of the things we saw there. I did not get detailed footage of all the booths and things like that because I really didn't want to disturb the other people that were there to enjoy the show along with me, and it was a crowded one. So I did the best I could, picked up a few tips, and I'd like to take you along. At the end, I will show you all of the great stuff that I bought that is hiding right under here, and we will get going. Let's check it out. Pre-registering was definitely the way to go. You saved a few dollars and getting into the show was super easy. You just scanned your barcode, collected your tickets, and you were off to the show. If you pre-registered, you were also automatically entered into all of the door prize contests, which happened all day long. And they had some fun contests involving numbers on the ground where you would run and stand on a number and then they would call out a winner. Also, as part of the expo, there were classes going on over both days, Friday and Saturday. These are all the classes that were offered. As you can see, many of them sell out, so you want to book your class in advance. Many people like to book a table here at the crop area. You can book a table with friends or by yourself and find a seat, and that way you can play with all of the supplies, spend time with friends, and catch up on some of your scrapbooking while you're at the show. Y'all, the number of vendors was crazy. It took my friend and I about 2 hours just to walk through the show the first time, and that didn't include very much shopping at all. One of our favorite vendors was this Craft Fancy shop right here, and they offered stamps and die cuts and mixed media tools, all kinds of things, including some crafting tools that I had not heard of, like a Pixie Spray for stencils. And this is where I also picked up a lawn fawn chamois, which I've been wanting to try. Those brushes you see right there for ink blending looked very cool. I was very interested in trying those. They were just a little bit out of my price range, and you could find almost any stencil or stamp you were looking for at this show. They were so cool, so fun to look at. In the middle of the showroom floor was the Creativity Center, and in the center all day are free make and takes. You have to go and stand behind a chair to kind of reserve your place in line, and as the day went on, this crowd got bigger and bigger for the make and takes. I happened to luck into walking up about 5 or 6 minutes before a new make and take was about to start. I grabbed a chair, and it happened to be a traveler's notebook, and they gave you a whole traveler's notebook including ephemera pieces to play with and a customized Virginia stamp for the expo, which was super fun. I played with watercolors in the traveler's notebook and experimented with this Scotch glue tape gun over there on the left that you see in the hot pink. I know a lot of people like it. I had a lot of trouble working it and getting used to it, but apparently it is much more affordable way to use adhesive if you're doing a lot of scrapping, and I might have to look into it and see if I can make it work for me because I'd love to save a little bit of money on that adhesive. I'll let you just watch me finish up my traveler's notebook here and we'll move on. Photoplay booth was crazy crowded the entire time because of their beautiful papers and the amazing deals that were being offered here at the expo. A new company that I had never seen here at the expo was Brutus Monroe, and they had the funkiest coolest stamp sets. There were all kinds of very large scale stamps in a huge variety that I really didn't see this style any other place in the show. They were really tempting to buy. The stamps were a little bit more on the expensive side, but they came in a larger set, not a standard stamp size, but I guess like a 6x9 maybe, the stamp sheet. So it was tempting. I got on their emailing list because I will definitely be following up online. These were some very cool, very unique stamps. As you can see, I tried not to get in other shoppers' ways. Everyone was really enjoying themselves. I love the energy. There were so many deals to dig through. Paper galore, stamps galore if you were a card maker, a scrapbooker. There were even 3 different Bible journaling booths that I found, 2 of which were dedicated exclusively to Bible journaling, and one of which had a whole section just for Bible journaling stamps. That is on top of the faith-based stamps that were prevalent for cards as well. Art Anthology is a booth that I have visited for the past 3 years, and I always pick up something. She specializes in mixed media, sprays and paint that she calls sorbet, different glitters with different effects, and the funkiest stencils that you will find anywhere. It is fabulous. I took a class of hers a few years ago and have been hooked on mixed media ever since. It was so fun, and we did a make and take with the owner of the shop. She makes all of these at her house, and it was fabulous. The best organization that I saw at the expo was actually from Best Craft Organizer, and these drawers have all of these different plastic inserts that you can customize to your needs, and they now have units that fit in the calyx units from IKEA. So you can buy cubes that will go straight into your IKEA pieces, which seemed like a fabulous idea. You also can buy their towers and their furniture sets as well. So you can check them out at bestcraftorganizer.com. My friend and I just had the most fabulous time. If you go to one of these, I highly suggest you go with a friend or with a group of friends that will enjoy digging through all of these fabulous deals and beautiful supplies with you. Give yourself plenty of time. We spent about 5 hours at the expo and only stopped for 15 minutes to grab a quick caffeinated beverage and get back on our way. We could have gone longer. It was so fun. There was so much to see and do, and I highly recommend, if they come to a town near you, that you check out the Stamp Scrapbook Expo. As you can see, we had an awesome time, and it was so much fun. When you register, they gave you this bag, which worked out great for carrying around things that I bought, but in true form, I did have additional bags with me that I could throw over my shoulder. This one was a little bit short for your shoulder, but it was nice. And then I also got this button because this was my 3rd year going to the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo, which was pretty cool. So I'll add this to my collection. I had so much fun shopping. I bought some things that I intended to buy, and then I bought a few extras. Okay, the booth where I probably spent the most money was the Craft Fancy booth. I loved the variety of products they offered, a ton of dies, a ton of different stamps, including from some companies that I had never heard of before. And this one is from Mama Elephant, and it is some different emoji stamps. I was so excited by all of the different variety that was here, and I'm planning on using these in my planner. I'm starting to get into planning a little bit more. I'm going to use these to record how the day went for me, just a quick reference to what the day felt like, and I thought these would come in super handy for that. At that same booth, I picked up a Lawn Fawn stamp chamois. I've seen this online and I've never gotten to try it. You add water and it's supposed to be awesome for cleaning your stamps. And as someone that does not clean her stamps very often, I thought that this might come in really handy. I also picked up a bunch of stencils. Stencils was one of my themes this time around, and I picked these 3 smaller. I like the 6x6 stencils because they're easy to use both in my Bible and in my smaller art journal. And I was really excited to find so many masking stencils, which is like the negative version of what a normal stencil might look like. And I love using these, especially in my art journaling. And along the lines of stencils, I also picked up this Pixie Spray, and I watched the demonstration for this at the Craft Fancy booth. And this is used to keep your stencils in place. So you spray it lightly on your project, let it dry for 1 minute, and then stick the stencil down, and the stencil will stay in place while you work, and you can put ink or spray or whatever it is on top of the stencil, and it stays in place so that it doesn't shift and get messy. And it looked amazing, and I love stencils, so I thought I would give that a try. The other things, let me find the other things that I picked up at that booth. You know what? They're just buried under here. Okay, we'll come back to that one. Echo Park was at the expo, and they had a booth, and they had some fantastic deals. I purchased this new Traveler's Notebook for $10, which is a fantastic deal. Easy for me to say. And my favorite part of it is the spotty dots in the middle. Super excited about this, and I already have in mind a couple projects I'm going to use this Traveler's Notebook for specifically. And they had some different decorative pieces. These are all decorative paper clips, $2 a piece, which seemed like a fantastic deal. And I use these all the time in Bible journaling, and I think they'll also come in handy with some planner things that I had in mind. And they had a bunch of stamps. These were $5, which I thought was awesome. And I love how narrow they are. Narrow, is that they're not very wide right here, but they are pretty tall. These will come in really handy in my Traveler's Notebook. So super excited. I had to restrain myself. They had a bunch of alpha stamps, and I wanted to get all of them. And for $5, I was about to talk myself into it, but I held back because I know I already have a lot of alpha stamps. So held back a little. You know, I forgot to tell you, these stencils, these were all $6, but with an extra like 15% off. So like $5.20. The Lawn Fawn Stamp Chamois was $8. And this stamp set was $15. So it was one of the more expensive stamp sets I bought, but with the number of stamps in it, I think totally worth it. Let's see. Art Anthology. This is a booth that I visit every time I go to the Stamp and Scrapbook Expo. I love, love, love their product. They have the funkiest, coolest stencils. So I try to pick up at least a couple stencils every year to add to my collection because they are so fun. I am in love. I'm obsessed with this flower. I cannot wait to use it. And then look at this cool, it reminds me of like a computer or like a maze. I think that's super fun. Art Anthology makes their very own sprays, and this is called Gilded Gold. It'll be really hard to see. Maybe you can see this is the make and take tag I did at their booth, but it has a slight shine to it, and this is a shimmer. So it's not like a glitter spray, it's a shimmer. It's very light, very subtle, and I loved the gold. I think it's gonna be super fun. And then in the less subtle category, I picked up glitter. This is Gold Shard, and she said this is like a type of German glitter, and it's mixed. You can see there's shards in there, and then there's tiny little pieces. And I watched the owner of Art Anthology add this to a couple of her mixed media pieces just in little spots here and there, and man, did it have a super cool effect. You can even hear it. It has kind of a neat sound to it. I'm excited to try it. I'm a glitter girl. I love glitter, and I think this is gonna be super fun. So that was at Art Anthology. Let me show you some of my other mixed media things. This is back from Craft Fancy. I picked up some Distress Oxide sprays. They were selling these individually for $5. I can only get them in packs of 2 at my local Hobby Lobby, and they don't have near all the colors available. So I was happy to pick up a few more to add to my collection. And along with that, I picked up some Nuvo drops to add in to my collection. I'm trying to use my Nuvo drops a little bit more. I think they are a really fun embellishment to add to projects. I just have to be patient enough to let them dry. So picked up a few colors to add in there. One of my favorite booths was this one, and this is the Brutus Monroe booth, and they had the coolest stamps, I think, in the whole show. I was so pumped. I bought this set of floral stamps. It was a little more on the expensive side, $24, but look how big the stamp set is. So I still think it's good value, and the number of stamps. All of the flowers are different. These are going to work great. If you saw in a previous video, I use black and white florals all the time as ephemera pieces and as layering pieces. So I can use these with my stamping tool, stamp out a bunch of black and white floral, fussy cut them out, and it be set. So this is going to come in really handy. And then look how stinking cute, if you can see, this cassette tape is. It's so cute, so tiny. It says, "You will rock this. I'll say a little prayer for you. I will always love you. Create your own ending." And all of these titles fit right in here in the little cassette tape label. So I'm of the cassette tape generation, and I'm so excited about that cute stamp. This little one was only $4, which I think is a good deal, and I will certainly get a lot of use out of those stamps. And then let's see where I bought the most stuff. Oh wait, here are those stencils. Okay, these were the last two stencils I bought, also at Craft Fancy. I loved this one, especially for the rainbows. And I liked the variety because I figured I can get a lot of usage out of all of these different patterns that are on here, especially in art journaling. And the rainbows I was super excited about. And then this might be my favorite stencil I bought. It's super huge. It's a masking stencil for a butterfly. I don't know if it's gonna fit in my art journal, but I'm gonna use this thing because I think it's gorgeous and so fun. So each of these stencils, $8 plus like 15 or 20% off. So these were a great deal as well. And that was from the Craft Fancy booth. And then Color Play, I could have thrown all of my money at Color Play because they had great deals. And let me show you what I picked up. They had their paper packs, 4 for $20. So in the paper pack, you get 12 double-sided pages plus most of them have stickers. The Harry Potter one didn't have stickers, but most of them had stickers. I bought Harry Potter because my daughter loves Harry Potter. I bought the cardstock die cuts that go with it and a Harry Potter stamp set, which I'm super pumped about. She is going to love that. I bought this one called Stuck on You. And again, it has 12 double-sided pages plus a set of stickers, cardstock stickers. And I also bought the stamp set that goes with it and the cardstock die cut pieces that go with that one. I love the colors. This one's gonna be super fun. Slightly Sassy, which is right up my alley. These papers were so cute, vintage, bright colors. And this one also came with cardstock stickers. I did not buy the ephemera and stamp set that went with this one because it was a little bit more, the stamp set had some more sewing things and I'm not really a sewer, but love that one. This one is Vintage Girl, and I bought this one primarily because of this sticker right here. I'm obsessed with this camera sticker, and I love all the other prints that are in this one. So I bought the paper pack and the cardstock die cuts because you all know that I love me some paper pieces. And then this set right here was $5 for this whole thing, and it included the paper pack. It also included, let's see, enamel dots that go with the right colors, some 3D stickers, and the cardstock die cut pieces. So this was a super deal, $5 for all of this. Will I use all of this paper? No, but I figured it was such a good deal that I will totally, like this one I'll definitely use, this one, probably this one, and probably I can use the sushi one. I think that's so adorable. And lastly, I bought a couple more stamp sets there. I am from Texas. I love Texas. A lot of my family's in Texas, so I thought the Texas one was super appropriate. And then my husband is from Georgia. I love this little Georgia G, and I will be using this in my planner a bunch. And we are also visiting Georgia this summer, so I knew that that stamp set would come in really handy. All right, as you can see, I had a great time. I bought a ton of stuff. I'm gonna spend the evening probably getting this organized in my craft room and playing with all my new supplies. I hope you get a chance to visit a scrapbook expo or a crafty event someday. It was so fun being around all of the energy of all of those other creative people and spending the day with a good friend that also loves crafting. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Let me know if you are headed to a Stamp and Scrapbook Expo sometime soon and what you are looking for in your searches there. I hope you have an awesome day, and as always, keep it creative.